we go back to 2014, and I went to an evening game against Hearts in 2014. And I went to the ticket office because I had to pick up tickets for the upcoming weekend game, wherever it was. It was an away game. And when I was picking up my tickets, so also was Keith Ferguson, who was at the time the chair of the Scottish Disabled Supporters Association. And we just got chatting there, and it developed from there, really. We met at the ticket office, sort of introduced each other, and my son has a disability, and he has cerebral palsy. He's not a wheelchair user, and we go home and away. And of course, Keith, in that brief meeting, told me what he did, and he Saints had someone who was kind of thinking about starting a group off, but sadly, I don't forget his name, but sadly the man died, and nothing happened. So Keith was telling me all this, so we had a few phone calls, and I went with him to an inaugural meeting of the Falkirk group. At the time, they were also interested in a group, and I found out a bit about it. I went to one of the meetings of the national group, the SFSA. I think it might have been at Motherwell, and I thought, it'd be a good idea to start something at Saints. And he's given me these copies of the Constitution, and the office bearers, and all blah blah blah, and, bank accounts and whatever. And I'm sitting thinking, I'm not interested in all this stuff. I can't stand all this formality and everything. So, and Keith came to our first meeting as well, and there was something like 25 people there, which was quite a good turnout, and it well exceeded the numbers that had been present at the Falkirk meeting some few weeks around the same time, a few weeks earlier, I think. So we had a good turnout, and Keith's got all these bits of paper, and I said, look, I introduced Keith. He spoke a bit, told people about the national group and what they did and whatever, and what they'd achieved. And it was a good group. They've done a lot, a lot of time for them. But I just said, look, for me, really, I'm not that interested in constitutions, committees, office bearers, bank accounts, such like. I think we should just have a loose, informal group, and let's just meet together. Let's air our grievances and concerns, and let's do it in a reasonable manner. Nobody's to be critical, and the one rule is no moaning. I don't want anybody moaning, because nobody likes a moaner. They're not going to respond to that. And beyond that, they're not going to do very much for you if all you do is moan at them. So let's be positive. So that's the basis the group started on, and we met once a month. And that was in 2014 we started. And we've got I've still got minutes from my way back then. Or, even don't even call them minutes, just notes. Forget all that terminology as well. There's notes in it. And they were quite lengthy, because people were coming with a number of legitimate concerns and problems that they had. And we got to grips with them. Bev was working with us from the club, and Paul Smith at the time. And between those two, we pretty much had an answer for everything, or found a way, to work around it and give us solutions. So to the point where we now meet now once a year, because we've got very little to talk about, except maybe away games. There might be issues, but there's not much that Bev can do about those. She can talk to her equivalent person at that club, of course. But so now usually we have a guest, and the guest takes up the whole meeting now pretty much, because we've very little to say.